Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So I've been taking a bit of a break from YouTube for a little while. I don't really know why, but I decided to come back and make a quick video on this. So this is interesting. Apparently the War Thunder devs are planning on adding infantry to the game and also World War One people, like not people, but aircraft and armored vehicles apparently down here. So this is a really interesting topic personally because it kind of almost goes against what War Thunder is. Like War Thunder is like personally I don't really approve of this. That's not Don't take my word for that. You guys think whatever you want, but it almost goes against what like War Thunder is. Like War Thunder's a big military combat or like vehicular combat game. And now I'm gonna get absolutely cooked by some dude with an RPG sitting in the next window while I'm driving around in my tank. So, it's definitely a bit of a weird thing to add because there's already, like, I don't really have it downloaded and I have way too many games on this, but there's already games like Enlisted made by Gaijin that kind of already answer this, but I guess this would kind of be like Enlisted, but I guess more modern and more vehicular based, so I guess they'll probably be able to balance it. But they are expanding tech trees as well towards World War One vehicles. So that's interesting because that would add an even lower battle rating to what is already there in War Thunder. Like 1.0 is already 1920s, 1930s vehicles most commonly. So coming back down to the 1910s will be very interesting to be able to figure out how do these things fit in, because only a couple of countries had tanks. There in World War One, there was the British with the Mark IV, Mark V. There was the Germans, I guess, with the A7V, but it kind of was a box on wheels with some machine guns. And then I think the Americans and French had some prototype tanks in the war. But other than that, that's the only people who would be using those tanks, and those tanks would not fit into the higher battle ratings like even 1.0, because 1.0 has tanks like the M2A4 and the the Panzer III with the frickin' 75mm gun. So those things would get absolutely destroyed by vehicles that are 20 years older than them. Even if those tanks, in comparison, in retrospect, are bad, these tanks are worse, and then the planes are also worse, though there are more aircraft to that perspective than there was, like, tanks at the time. So, it would, I guess it'd probably fit in better, and it would probably also fit in with the biplanes that are in the 1.0 in reserve of the game, but also brings the question, how do you access the World War One vehicles? Because if you've already researched to the reserve, like if you're already on a reserve line and you've researched past that, do you have to research backwards to be able to get it? You have to go back in the past, which makes the most sense, but it'll definitely be interesting seeing, because it says in the next 24 hours you'll have the chance to take part in test battles featuring infantry during a special event dedicated to World War One. So does that mean World War One infantry are going to be added, World War Two infantry? Because doesn't that just tie back to enlisted? Like, isn't that this? That's the weird thing, is it'll all have to play out really interesting to be able to figure that out. So, I think let's watch the trailer just to see how this would be. Okay, this volume's probably way too loud. Hold on. Oh no, that's probably good. It's the D point. The D point's here. Okay, this is the good thing. This is a good thing.
4 APCs moving towards you from southwest. Over.
Okay.
Roger. Everything's ready.
Yeah, it does seem infantry is going to be connected, obviously, with tanks. guerrilla tactic, anti-tank weaponry will be most likely the problem, because you're going to be driving around in your tank and there's nothing you can really do against, let's say, someone with an RPG or someone with the man pads in your helicopter or something like that. You can't really do it with that, because you can't, like, you might be able to disembark from your tank or something like that, but you really just kind of screwed if you see that RPG, because you can't really go inside of the building in your BMP, let's just say, with this, and kill it yourself. So it'll, obviously there will be different ways of it playing out, so that'll have to be seen when it comes, apparently in the next 24 hours. Something that just went back there, that seemed to be a first-person drone, like FPV drone. So that's gonna be it's very modern and it's very chaotic, as you might have seen with videos in Ukraine and stuff. So that'll also be yeah, so when I first saw this, I'm like, it's the day before April 1st. It's the day before April Fool's Day. This is totally going to be an April Fool's event. Because no way they're adding this. This is like the most non-War Thunder thing ever. And then I come in here and they're actually adding it. So that's definitely interesting. So I will be making a video in the next 24 hours, apparently, on, or hopefully, I guess, on the new battles and systems, to be able to clarify around with this topic. So I will see you guys soon, and in another video. Babco out.